Well, I'm back after a little bit. Okay, so let's talk this whole Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Full disclosure, straight up, giving it to you straight, I have not seen this movie. Do I plan on seeing this movie? Absolutely not. You can whine, you can cry about it. If you happen to stumble upon this video, I will be critiquing this movie because, well, I absolutely can. Because let's be real here, all right? This isn't just some form of fandom. This isn't just some fanboy bullshit. It's none of that. No, no, no. It's just knowing instinctually what you do with a character, especially a character that means something to a lot of people. Even if I didn't give an absolute damn about Indiana Jones, I could tell you straight up right now, this is not how you have a character like that go out whatsoever. This is just not how you do it. I've heard the details. I've heard the spoilers. I've heard it from various people, reviewers I trust. A very obviously good reviewer, Jeremy Johns. Okay, he's a very straight shooter, very down to earth type of dude. Okay, easily a very go-to type of person for this type of thing. And even he walks away from this just like, yeah, that happened. Just depressing. And you think about a character like Indiana Jones, who's been established since 1981. Okay, hot off of Empire Strikes Back. Okay, second outing as Han Solo, Harrison Ford, Raiders of the Lost Ark, not Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, Raiders of the Lost Ark. You think about that. You think about when a film like that came out, it left the impact that it did. And you think about those kids back in the day, like with a Star Wars or anything else of the sort, where they want to dress up like that character. They want to be that character. They reenact the scenes in their backyard, switching out the idol, wearing the hat, probably making their own whip, all this other stuff. You just think about the pure like old school serial adventure that they were going for and what that character meant. And even for as raw and as violent as the films can get, because they can get a little bloody, I mean, how the guy gets shot up by a propeller, for God's sake, stuff like that. But really, at the core of the franchise, it really is rather pure. Again, just that adventure series, just this iconic character who can whisk you away into that adventure. He can suck you into that world and have you go along with them, and knowing he's going to come out at the end doing something triumphant, stopping evil, finding the lost artifact, and doing what's right. It belongs in the museum. You just think, because all the old Indiana Jones films, even Crystal Skull, they all end on that proper note, that positive note. And you think about that. You think about the lasting impact of something like that and what that means. And you get to now to where, even in previous years, even with someone like George Lucas, obviously he got a lot of flack for the prequels. We all know that. Hell, they got a lot of flack for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull for a lot of similar issues. But at least one thing you could say about George Lucas is that he was a guy that had his heart in the right place. He was all about remaining loyal to his work. We all saw that clip of them watching the first cut of The Phantom Menace, and he goes like, I may have gone too far in a few places. It's things like that. I mean, you see that, and you just, they knew. They were very much aware of that. And as the prequels went along, gradually he tweaked things. He got things a lot better to where Revenge of the Sith, a lot of people say, hey, definitely the best prequel, solid film all around. Still has probably, flaws here and there, but hey, for the most part, a good film. Okay, they end everything the way it should be. And you think about even Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It felt like an Indiana Jones movie. All the characters felt like their characters. It ends on a happy note. Him getting married to Marion and, walking off into the sunset. Get the cute little tease with Mutt's like, oh, nope, my hat. Nope, not this time, son. And eventually, of course, I guess that just never comes to be, because Phoebe Waller-Bridge, of all people, his goddaughter, is who he's hanging around with in this new film, going on the adventures with. Not his wife, not his son, I know Salah's in it, but what does he really do? Probably nothing. It's just okay. You think about that. What sense does this make for a character like that, for a legacy like that, for the impact a character like that has left? And this is what you do? I mean, we all know that this is what Lucasfilm and Disney do. We know this for a fact, okay? I'm not here to just rant and rave and just be like, oh, this movie sucked. No, okay? This is just an honest critique of just knowing what to do with characters, how to take them out on the right note, and just how to just tell a good story. It's just about the storytelling. And this is knowing that he's just an old cranky guy who's just going, and we all know that for a fact that he's estranged from Marion, like they're divorced. I'm not even gonna say the thing about that I heard about Mutt, because that just seems honestly rather stupid. But I mean, for as dark as the previous Indiana Jones films have gotten, nothing about them is really depressing. And you think about this film, all the details, I'm like, why should you go into an Indiana Jones film feeling depressed? And why should you walk out of it feeling like, I guess that is not how you should feel walking away from a film like this? Again, I told you about the character, like I said, the adventure it takes you on and what that's supposed to mean. Just again, just the pure heart of it all. These films, these newer films, anything that Lucasfilm does now, for some reason they just hate families. You know, they love tearing apart families. This is what they do. The perfect analogy for what they do to these franchises is equal to that of Temple of Doom, where the son of a bitch rips your heart out, drops you into a pit of flames, lets you burn alive, where there's nothing left. And that's what it seems like that this film does. Yet again, like what they did with Star Wars. Oh, let's kill off the entire Skywalker bloodline. Let's introduce Rey. And when it's all said and done, she's just gonna take the name. Beautiful, isn't it? Exactly. Yeah, that's what people want to see. Decades of build-up, and this is how we end it. Glad to see that our family legacies really mean something here. That's basically what it's telling you. It's like your life means shit because someone else could just come along and just steal your legacy, and what you did meant nothing. Your accomplishments, nothing. Nope, all mine now. Is basically what they do. And I've heard all the details. I've heard the ending. That is such a sad, pathetic way to let a character like this go out. For all that's been done, you would think that his final moments, because even the final moments in the last shot themselves for a film franchise like this, if this is the ending, the closing out of all of it, those moments are very, very important. And you would think it would be something like, oh, he maybe goes through the museum, reflects, goes along all the artifacts, standing there with Marion, exchanging some words, like, oh, look, this is what we've done, what I've done when I did this, all the history I've rediscovered, all the history I've made going on these adventures with you, our son, this and that, and just all the teachings and, how, like, just what we've done. Well, I've done what you've done, something like that. And you would just think, like, again, you probably have a sunset, you get a nice shot of him as a silhouette with the hat and everything, let him walk to the sunset with his wife or whatever, and just like, you just fade to black, you have the music probably coming a little bit, just instrumental, and then by the time it fades to a black, you hear it really just chime in and just go into credits. Indiana Jones, boom, that's his life. He did something. He could die at ripe old age and knowing that he accomplished something. He did that. And this film gives you not a single bit of that, hardly at all. This is you don't need to see every single film to know what you're getting and to be able to critique it and to be able to tell someone that is not what you do for a character like that, for a legacy like that. That's not how you do it. Will I ever see this? No, I will not. Absolutely. For a lot of people, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was bad enough, but again, at least you can walk away from that feeling, hey, the characters are happy, It was fun for what it was, you know, stuff here and there. You know, disappointing, not what I would have done, but hey, you know, it's something. This film, no heart, no integrity. You walk away feeling empty, just nothing at all. And that is truly pathetic. I do not need to subject myself to that. I mean, hey, if you want to, again, if you see the film, if you happen to like it, you think it's worthy, again, that's you, but I'm just, for a legacy like that, it just sounds far, far, far too underwhelming and depressing for a character in a journey like that. And how you're supposed to walk away feeling good, you know, feeling like, oh yeah, one day I can go on an adventure, do something, just do something, you know, not literally that type of thing, but just do something, you know. That's the type of feeling a movie's supposed to walk away. You're supposed to have that feeling walking away from. In what universe do I walk away from a sequel to Top Gun feeling way more fulfilled than the last outing of Indiana Jones? Think about that for a second. How does that happen? You tell me. But hey, at least Tom Cruise actually tries. At least he puts his heart into the shit, and I actually walked away feeling a hell of a lot more than I ever would have thought for a sequel to Top Gun. More than that than Indiana Jones' last outing. This is the final stamp that they went with. That is fucking pathetic. End of story. It really is. I guess we can just ignore it like a lot of people do. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. There's only 3. The Last Crusade. All the characters riding off into the sunset. That's all we needed. Because this proves it right here. They're not going to make their money back. We already know that. They pumped way too much money into this. I don't know what they were thinking. That's just what they do now. I don't know. But it's not going to make that either. So it was all for naught anyway. You couldn't even get the guy that played Short Round. Clearly, you know, at the peak of his career, he's come full circle. Could have integrated him in. Nice father-son dynamic there. Really even capitalized off his success if you really wanted to, but couldn't even do that. Nope. Phoebe Waller-Bridge and goddaughter from some random person. Even my camera has had enough of my shit. Anyway, yes, but that's it. I'm done. I'm capping it off right there. But yeah, do I need to see the film to tell you that? No. That's just instinct. That's just what you know in your heart, which is what this film lacks. And that's really what it comes down to. Just, you can make a bad film, but at least I know that the effort was put in. At least I know you had heart put into it. This is soulless. This means nothing. And it's absolutely sad and pathetic for a character like this to go out on such a crap note. And that's all there is to it, but that's just the way it is. That'll do it for this video, and just go be entertained.